In Genesis 2:15, God didn't call Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden stewards, but he did give them the roles and responsibilities of a steward. The Bible calls this role and responsibility dominion. Dominion was the first job description, and it simply meant to be a caretaker of all that God had created. Sin changed everything, and the curses of Genesis 3 changed our work forever. Our work went from being a source of joy to a source of tears, stress and frustration. However, God has been calling us back to our rightful position and responsibility as his reinstated stewards. Accepting this role and trusting God to provide the resources for us is our main task. Reinstated stewardship involves new ways of thinking, beliefs and patterns of behaviour that don't naturally come to us. Our life journey is one where we are continually learning what it means to be a reinstated steward. In the Old Testament, stewards are managers who work for owners of property and estates. One well-known example was Joseph, the Prime Minister of Egypt, reporting through to Pharaoh. The New Testament continues to use the word steward with the same meaning as the Old Testament, but it layers on a spiritual aspect to this concept of management. Paul tells us that we are stewards of the mysteries of God in 1 Corinthians 4 verse 1 and 2. In fact, Paul defines spiritual leadership as managing God's household. Titus 1 verse 7. Being God's steward in a world of sin begins with accepting the Redeemer and the gift of his Son on the cross. We are entrusted with the gospel and we become part of the priesthood of all believers. As stewards, we are in the business of multiplication, multiplying disciples of Jesus. The methods of disciple making of Jesus will require some relearning and discovery of those methods that Jesus used, that we too can use. When God gave the job description of being a steward, which is given again and again in Scripture in various forms, it's in the form of a collective bargain agreement. You see, because God doesn't ask one person such as your pastor to be the steward of the gospel. He asks every believer to be involved. In Genesis, God gave dominion or stewardship to the family unit, Adam and Eve. Families are still the main agency of stewardship. Let me give you some examples. The method that Jesus teaches his disciples to do in Luke chapter 10, which includes eating with unbelievers, listening to their stories, and praying for their needs, is best done from the place of families. The mandate in Matthew 25 for believing Christians to feed the hungry, give water to the thirsty, to care for the homeless and to clothe the naked, to visit the sick and visit the people in prison, all of these imperatives are best done by families. And all of these activities have one thing in common. They restore and rebuild broken people, families and communities. You see, after Eden, after the effects of sin took full control, our job description went from maintaining a perfect environment to restoring broken environments, broken people, broken cities and neighbourhoods. We are his entrusted stewards. We work for the creator and owner of all things. Working for the big guy means we have unlimited access to his resources and to his spirit to guide us.